So I'm doing the transformation group work that is due today. Last week was a bit hectic, been battling a cold, so the last couple assignments were a little late. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Jeannie. And so I'm trying to be more productive and getting things done on time. So that's part of who I am, I guess, growing to be better at doing things on time. But who I am at this point in time and in this moment, I just I'm getting over a cold, so if my voice sounds weird, sorry about that. But I recently just had a conversation with a friend, and if I was to define who I am right now in this moment after this conversation, I would be one angry mother effer. I'm gonna not curse. I'm getting better at not cursing as much, but yeah, I'd be one angry mother effer based on ego and what my emotions feel right now. But I know that that's a part of who I am, but the collective of who I am is someone who is continuously growing. I have learned so much over the last couple of years, and within the last year in itself, I feel like I've learned so much more at a much faster rate than has been the case in the past for me. I am a woman of strength, a woman of inspiration. I am silly, very silly at times. I love to laugh. I am a parent, a single mom, not by choice, but and unfortunately it happened. And the last 2 years, I've learned so much about parenting and just learning how to navigate being who I am and embracing the change that has happened in my life. And I'm a woman who is learning to forgive, learning not to hold grudges, trying to get less frustrated and upset about things and allowing negative emotions to take over. I am learning how to be patient because I can be very impatient. I'm learning that heartbreak is not the end all be all, that there's so much more to who I am, and the relationships that I have in my life is a culmination of all of the journeys that I've been on and all of the people who I've met and whose paths may have crossed with mine. Everything happened not by chance, so to speak, but has happened because it's all a part of my divine blueprint. I believe we're all here with a divine purpose. We're all here with gifts and talents that are so unique, yet that some of them are similar, but we're unique in the way that we may deliver them or the way we contribute to the world. I'm a woman who is a bit confused at where my life is going. As a kid, you always know, like, well, when I grow up, I want to be a ballerina or a doctor, or for me, it was always a lawyer. And some of the choices I've made in my life and some of the encounters I've had in my life took me totally a different route. And I'm currently in the position of figuring out, like, what does this all mean? What are all these pieces of this puzzle, that I have in my hand? How am I supposed to put them together? And do I have all the pieces yet? Some things I feel like I do have all the pieces of the puzzle, and some parts of me I'm still searching and finding those pieces as I continue to evolve in my life. So who I am is a crazy, beautiful, silly, loving, compassionate person who for a very long time would hold back a lot of who I am out of fear of just maybe being too strong or being too passionate or revealing too much of myself. But that's who God made me to be. That's my God-given gifts, is being a person of passion, being a person who sees the good in everything and everyone, and even in the midst of my own mess and muck, being able to be helpful to others and be a voice of reason, or just be someone that can help other people who are struggling to figure out who they are and to understand their divine, unique gifts and abilities. That's who I am. I'm also a in the shower singer. I am a person who ultimately wants to be loved and to give love, to receive it as well, to be able to do the things that I wake up every day that doesn't feel like a job, but feels like I'm doing it because I can eat, live, sleep, and breathe whatever it is that I would be doing in my life. I'm someone who hates to see others suffer, especially when I feel like there's so much that can be done. And I can also be very hard on myself at times, more than I should be, but I guess that's the nature of being a soul with a free will living in a human body. We are human and we deal with all the emotions of being human and the circumstances and situations that come in our lives and the people we meet. Those we may want to stay for a lifetime and may only stay for a month or two, or people we want to spend the rest of our lives with that may not be the case all the time. I am a woman who's learning to just go with the flow of life and to be okay with the here and now and to be comfortable with where I'm at the moment and not always trying to predict or be impatient when I'm not sure of my next steps, because everything is happening in divine timing and in divine order. The transformation group has been very inspirational and it's been very helpful, and couldn't have come at a better time to meet the people that I've met through this group, and Jeannie, of course, being very helpful in figuring things out. I'm also a woman who oftentimes, if I don't feel like, and this is part of ego, but feel like there's things that's not working out, it's not happening the way I want it to, or I can't deal with this person, I gotta cut it off. And I'm learning that sometimes you can't cut things off or get rid of them, because as one of my other friends who I've had a conversation with today, who I consider a sister, said, energy is not something that you can eliminate. Energy is constant. It is always moving. There's ways to transform energy from negative into positive. That energy is something that, we may not like what it is at that point in time, but we should acknowledge what we're feeling, and we should acknowledge the energy exchange that may have occurred, and to find ways to transform that energy or transmute that energy into something that is for our better good, and to also help strengthen us and maybe even learn some lessons from that energy, whether it's an exchange of energy or energy you've given off, of energy you've absorbed from someone else. But all energy is constant. It's not something you can get rid of, and it's always going to be there. So I am a woman that's always learning, and I am me, all parts of me, all flaws, unapologetically me. And there's so much more to come on this journey, and I am comfortable with it now. Not all the time, but for the most part, I am learning to just enjoy the journey and not worry so much about the destination. And that's me. Bye.